بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين أجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف. So we continue our reflections on Munajat Sha'baniyyah, and we reflected on this part. إلهي هب لي كمال الانقطاع إليك وأنر أبصار قلوبنا بضياء نظرها إليك حتى تخرق أبصار القلوب حجب النور فتصل إلى معدن العظمة وتصير أرواحنا معلقة بعز قدسك. So this is one of the highlights of Munajat Sha'baniyyah and refers to the high level of nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to the extent that you manage to penetrate all the veils of light and reach the source, the center, the core of sanctity of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And with this, then you remain always connected and attached with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, Ilahi, وَاجْعَلْنِي مِمَّن نَادَيْتَهُ فَأَجَابَكَ. In the beginning of Munajat Sha'baniyyah, what did we say? We said, O Allah, وَاسْمَعْ دُعَائِ إِذَا دَعَوْتُكَ وَاسْمَعْ نِدَائِ إِذَا نَادَيْتُكَ. Yeah? Hear my prayer, my dua, my nida and najwa. But now what we say? Now we say, make me one of the people that you called them. فَأَجَابَكَ مِمَّن نَادَيْتَهُ. Okay? Now, Allah is calling and you respond. Okay? وَلَاحَظْتَهُ فَسَعِقَ لِجَلَالِكَ. But this نَادَيْتَهُ فَأَجَابَكَ, in my humble opinion, is different from a general call. Allah calls everyone. يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اسْتَجِيبُوا لِلَّهِ وَلِلرَّسُولِ إِذَا دَعَاكُمْ لِمَا يُحْيِيكُمْ. Yeah? This is a general call. But this is the call of the lovers of Allah. This is the call of people that have a special relation with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now Allah talks to them and they respond. وَلَاحَظْتَهُ. Make me one of those people that you have your look at them, you gaze upon them. If your beloved that for years was hiding himself from you, now calls you and shows his face or her face to you, what happens? فَسَعِقَ لِجَلَالِكَ. Then you become unconscious because I was not ready for this. Yeah, it comes, although I was waiting for this, but it comes as a shock. Yeah, I didn't expect. I was, thinking, imagining that my beloved is very beautiful, but I never saw how beautiful Allah is. Yeah, I cannot cope with that. فَسَعِقَ لِجَلَالِكَ. Like when Allah made manifestation to the mount, and then خَرَّ مُوسَى سَعِقًا. Although it was a manifestation, not direct, it was manifestation to the mount, and then he saw the mount, but he fell down and became unconscious. فخر موسى صعقا فصعق لجلالك فناجيته سرا وعمل لك جهرا. You whispered to him secretly, and he acted for you publicly. So people don't realize, what is the source of energy and guidance for this person, does all the time good things, and surprises everyone. This is because Allah is whispering. Yeah? So he's telling them, do this, don't do that, say this, So you see, this person is making good, steady progress. But it's because Allah is whispering. فَنَاجَيْتَهُ سِرًّا وَعَمِلَ لَكَ جَهْرًا. إلهي لم أسلط على حسن ظني قنوط الأياس ولن قطع رجائي من جميل كرمك. Now, although I made these, very beautiful du'as, but I go back to my condition. This was dua. Still, I have not reached that position, so I am not in a very, good condition, but still the key is hope. Okay? So I shouldn't become despaired when I look at the reality. You say, this is possible. I have this dream of having kamalun and qita, etc. Yeah? But the reality is very far. But I say to Allah, I have not made despair dominant over my husn dhan. I have to have always good opinion about you. And my raja has not stopped, my hope in your jameel karamek, in your beautiful generosity. My hope is not stopping. So hope is giving us energy to continue. Without hope, we cannot continue. If you have a hope, you keep walking, you keep trying. Even a patient who has hope keeps struggling. But if someone loses hope, can easily, be affected by illness or whatever. Ilahi, in kanat al-khataya qad asqatatni ladayk, faswah anni bihusn tawakkuli alayk. Oh Allah, if my mistakes have dropped me in your eyes, I have lost my position. I used to be your, good servant. I used to be your, good friend. But my mistakes, sometimes a person is very dear, but keeps, annoying you, and then you say, sakatta min aini. You are dropped in my eye. Yeah? Of course, don't say this to people easily. It's very painful to say this, but sometimes it happens. So if my mistakes have dropped me in your sight, I have lost my position, fasfah anni, please forgive me. Why? Bihusn tawakkuli alayk. Because I have tawakkul in you, and tawakkul is beautiful. So even if I did mistakes, but at least I didn't make mistake with respect to tawakkul. I am putting my trust in you. So I'm not very, terrible, because if it was very terrible, I didn't have tawakkul. This is a sign that something is functioning. It's like someone has an accident, fatal accident, but not fatal, serious accident, but still the heart is beating, so say, okay, this is sign of life. Ilahi, in hattatni al-dhunub min makarim lutfik, faqad nabbahani al-yaqeen ila karam atfik. Oh Allah, if my sins have dropped me, have lowered me with respect to your generous favor. So if this is the problem, my sins have lowered my position and I cannot still again, like before, receive your favor. My yaqeen has made me conscious of the generous attention that you have. So he wants to balance. He wants to say that I have problem and maybe this is causing lack of your favor for me, but I have also something that you may have interest in. I have tawakkul, I have yaqeen. Yeah, these are good things. إلهي إن أنامتنا الغفلة عن الاستعداد للقائك. If heedlessness has made me into a sleep, and therefore I am not prepared for liqa'ullah. If you want to meet Allah, you have to be prepared. Yeah. Any person, if you want to meet the king, you prepare yourself, your dress, what should I say, how should I respond, So you always try to prepare. If you have to go to meet the judge or whatever, you have to prepare your file, everything. So if my ghafla has made me asleep, therefore I am not able to prepare myself for your liqa. فَقَدْ نَبَّهَتْنِ الْمَعْرِفَةُ بِكَرَمِ آلَائِكَ. But my knowledge of your generous bounties has made me conscious and alert. So something makes me heedless, something makes me alert. So it's not bad. It's bad and good. Yeah, so there is something positive. So you are saying this not only to tell Allah, but also to keep yourself hopeful that maybe I have something positive. إلهي إن دعاني إلى النار عظيم عقابك فقد دعاني إلى الجنة جزيل ثوابك. If on the one hand, what calls me to fire is your great punishment, on the other hand, what calls me to heaven is your great reward. You are very generous in your reward. إلهي فلك أسأل وإليك أبتهل وأرغب. What does it mean? فلك أسأل. This is something very subtle, and for many years I myself didn't pay attention to this. What does it mean فلك أسأل? It doesn't say بك أسأل or منك أسأل. It says لك أسأل. I am asking for you. Not I am just asking you. I am asking you to give me yourself. لك أسأل. Pardon? For example, a child.
So you're my aim, basically.
Yes. Yeah. So, for example, imagine a child is crying. Okay? Mom says, what do you want? You want milk, you want water, you want food? She says, Laka abki. Means I'm missing you. I wanted you. I didn't want food, I didn't want water. Yeah? Laka as'al. So we say to Allah, you are what I am looking for. You are my remedy. You are my solution. Laka as'al. Wa ilayka abtahilu wa arghab. All the eagerness and all the lamenting that I have is to come to you. Okay? Wa as'aluka an tusalli ala Muhammadin wa ala Muhammad. We started with salawat, then we insert salawat again here because we said this is very powerful and accepted dua. And after asking to send salutation to the Prophet and his family, I request أن تجعلني ممن يديم ذكرك. I realize that my problem is that sometimes I remember you, sometimes I am heedless. Yeah? So what I am requesting now is to have your remembrance continuously. ممن يديم ذكرك. I want to be one of the people that لا تلهيهم تجارة ولا بيع عن ذكر الله. Nothing will make them forget Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. ولا ينقض عهدك. Make me one of the people who would never break their covenant, their treaty with you. ولا يغفل عن شكرك. I would never be heedless with respect to gratitude. ولا يستخف بأمرك. And would never underestimate anything which is related to you, anything which is your command or your affair. And then again, it goes very high. إلهي وألحقني بنور عزك الأبهج. Oh Allah, please enable me to join the light of your honor and dignity, which is the most joyful light. We had Izz Qudsik, and here we have Izzak al-Abhaj. Because when you are connected with Allah, you are the most happiest person, the most joyful person. Okay? So, if I am able to join the light of your dignity, which is the most joyful one, then فَأَكُونَ لَكَ عَارِفًا. Then I will only know you. Who is an Arif? If someone asks you, who is an Arif? Yeah. Arif is not the one who knows Allah only. Arif is the one who only knows Allah. Yeah? It's not the one who knows Allah only. No. Who only knows Allah. Okay? In the sense that for Arif, it's only Allah and nothing else. He sees then everything through Allah. So nothing distracts him from Allah, but then through Allah he sees everything. We unfortunately, either we don't see Allah at all, or we see Allah but there are millions of other things next to Allah. But Arif, Amir al-Mu'minin said, ما رأيت شيئا إلا وقد رأيت الله قبله وبعده ومعه. I didn't see anything except I saw Allah before and after and with it. Okay? So it means Arif is always seeing Allah. But then sometimes he sees through Allah a child, sometimes he's a bird, sometimes he's a river, yeah? But it's all through Allah. All are signs of Allah, manifestations of Allah, or as ayah for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, if I am able to join the light of your dignity, which is the most joyful, then I become laka arifa. And laka is brought before arif. It doesn't say arif and laka arifa. I'm only knowing you. Wa an siwaka munharifa. Then from anything other than you, I am deviating. Yeah, means I have no independent attention to anything else. If they want to bring me to you, that's fine. If you want to take me away from you, no. Yeah, this is the test. Anything that takes you to Allah, it's okay. Anything that takes you away, say no. Okay? Say, I will meet you in Allah. Yeah? Even if your children who are very dear to you, if they want to take you away from Allah, say no. I meet you in Allah. Yeah? I look after your needs, but in Allah. وَمِنْكَ خَائِفًا مُرَاقِبًا. I want to be only fearful from you and be muraqib, careful and monitoring only with respect to you. What type of khawf is this? What type of muraqabah is this? Why you should have khawf? Fear. Pardon? I am worried that I may do something that my beloved will be upset. Yeah? I'm not fearful of punishment. I am fearful of losing you. Yeah? Imagine you have, climbed the mountain and reached the peak. And now you are worried that any mistake may cause you fall and be destroyed. You don't want to fall down. So you have to be always monitoring, muraqabah. Our ulama so much emphasize on muraqabah. I heard from Ayatollah Ibrahim Amini, rahmatullah alayhi, who was one of the students of Allama Tabatabai. He actually told us this in Manchester. He said, in last, hours of the life of Allama Tabatabai, last days, he was not talking to people and not paying attention to people. But if sometimes, people ask him questions, he was answering. And he said, I asked him, what should we do for, self-building, etc. And he said, muraqabah. He was not paying attention to anyone. But if there was a question that he had to answer for the sake of Allah, he was answering. So muraqabah is very important. Everything, from now, let us make this decision. Everything we do, everything we say, or we don't say, or we don't do, just check, is this pleasing Allah or is not pleasing Allah? If it's pleasing Allah, go for it. If it's not pleasing Allah or you are not sure, don't do it. This is something that very quickly can take you to high positions. Yes, self-monitoring. Muhasabah is afterwards. For example, in the night you do muhasabah of what you have done during the day. But muraqabah is at the same time that you want to do something, you have to be watching yourself. Ya dhal jalal wal ikram, O the possessor of glory and honoring. Again, wasallallahu ala Muhammadin rasulihi wa alihi at-tahirin wa sallama tasliman kathira. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad. So we started with salawat, we had salawat in the middle towards the end, and then at the very end also we have again salawat. So this was a brief and quick review of Munajat Sha'baniyyah, alhamdulillah.